7 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order, please. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Wilson. Fletcher.
Here.
Milczewski.
Here.
Frieders.
Here.
Funkhauser.
Here.
Lewis. Hernandez.
Here.
A quorum is established.
Do we have any amendments to tonight's agenda? No presentations or public hearings. Do we have any citizen comments on items that are on the agenda this evening? If so, you can step up to the podium. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Wilson, Milczewski.
Aye.
Frieders.
Aye.
Funkhauser.
Aye.
Hill. Hernandez.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 27th, 2017 as presented.
So moved.
Second. Comments or questions on the minutes? Corrections? All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please state aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, moving into Public Works Committee report, I will turn it over to Alderman Frieders.
All right, I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending the water meter fees and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
Second.
Comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Funkhauser.
Aye.
Milczewski.
Aye.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Frieders.
Aye.
Motion passes.
We have no Economic Development Committee report or Public Safety Committee report. I will turn it over to Alderman Milczewski for the Administration Committee report.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the purchase of Microsoft Windows Office 365 licensing in the amount not to exceed $27,360.
Second.
Comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor, actually, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So this is going to be an annual bid?
Yes,
There's no coupon?
there are no coupons, but we will achieve some savings the next time we have to order computers, and that we won't have to pay for licenses at that time.
So that's anywhere from $275 to $400 per computer?
I would say 200 to 300 generally.
Anyone else? Roll call. Oh,
Just a point of order. This is a supermajority vote?
Correct,
Mayor votes on this one, so we're
Correct.
good on that, you know, we're.
correct. We
Thank you.
need 6 zip.
Your vote counts?
just like Mike Pence today. Roll call, please.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Frieders.
Aye.
Funkhauser.
Aye, sorry.
Milczewski.
Aye.
Okay,
Mayor Linsky.
Aye.
Motion passes.
okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the network refresh and equipment purchases as detailed in Interdev quote 34447 in an amount not to exceed $76,278.31, and to approve an ordinance authorizing the Fourth Amendment to the annual budget for the fiscal year commencing on May 1st, 2017, and ending on April 30th, 2018, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
So moved.
Comments or questions?
This is the same point of order on this issue. We need a, more than a simple majority, we need a supermajority.
Yes, sir.
Because we finally have a techie on the council, I just want to stare at Alex for a second. What's your opinion? Okay. As long as he's okay with that.
Thank you, Alex.
Roll call.
Funkazzer,
Aye.
Olszewski,
Aye.
Hernandez,
Aye.
Fletcher,
Aye.
Ritters, Mayor Glinski.
Yes. Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, nothing from Park Board. Under Planning and Zoning Commission, there's no motion on here. Do we have to vote on this, Bart?
We've swapped the motion off the motion sheet.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve an ordinance approving an Anthony Place final plat of subdivision and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute.
Second.
Comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Olszewski,
Aye.
Hernandez,
Aye.
Fletcher,
Aye.
Ritters,
Aye.
Funkazzer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
No city council report, city clerk's report, and community and liaison reports. Staff reports?
No reports?
Any additional business? We do have a couple items under executive session, but we decided to table those for 2 weeks since we're missing 3 aldermen. There's nothing that's pressing, it can't wait until we have a full council. So let's skip executive session and go right to citizen comments. Now is your opportunity to speak about anything you wish to speak about. So do we have any citizen comments? Please step up to the podium, state your name and sign in, please. See you, Andrew.
Hello, my name is Tanner. I'm 7-year-old, and my address is 2725 Eldon Drive, Whispering Meadows. Because we have potholes in our roads. I would please want them to get fixed. I cannot ride my bike because of all the potholes. I step in the potholes and I trip and fall. The bus lets me off somewhere where a lot of potholes are on the curve. And when I'm walking home, I'm stepping in all the potholes. I would like the roads to be safe so that my family will be safe.
Thank you, buddy.
My name is T.C. Coover. Well, I live at the same house as he does. No, we've had an issue with the potholes for a long time. Now it's become an issue where I'm having to have our cars aligned more often. You're weaving in and out of places all the time. My driveway, where we pull in, now I'm scraping the bottom of my car because of where the curb is compared to the road. I mean, one of these days it's going to be where the kids are going to get hit. I mean, everybody's swerving all over. It floods when it rains. All the roads are filled. So we need to do something about it. And I know it's been an issue for a while, but we need to figure something out. I mean, we keep paying all our money to the taxes for the roads, and I don't see our roads getting done. I see little roads getting done, or roads that hardly anybody drives on. I see them paved all over. So I think we need ours fixed.
Thank you.
My name is Jody Dolan. I'm also from Whispering Meadows. One of the problems I have with this is the fact that people are still able to move in and buy houses and are never made aware of the fact that their roads are crumbling around them. But we're still letting people buy houses in here. Where are we going to be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years with more salt, more erosion, more traffic? it's horrible. I mean, I live on Allendale, so I drive down Allendale, and after a rain, I've got to drive on the wrong side of the road, because it's flooded 3/4 of the way out into the road. So I'm on the wrong side. It's terrible. I don't, like, where are we going to be? Like the gentleman stated, we're paying our taxes just like everybody else. But people are still allowed, I moved in here 2 years ago, this is our retirement home. We're already thinking about moving out. Because where are we going to be? The potholes, the city comes out, dumps a little asphalt in there, 2 days later, we got another one 3 feet from it. And like he said, you got the roads down here, the last curb base is up here. So the water can't even get into the sewer drains to drain out. It just sits in the road and it sits there for days until it evaporates, because it's got nowhere to go. At least, people should be made aware before they buy that they're buying into the subdivision, where pretty soon they're going to be back on gravel roads, and we're going to be starting all over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, could you please tell me your name for the record again? I'm sorry.
It's Jody, J-O-D-Y, Dolan, D-O-L-A-N,
Thank you so much.
2724 Allendale.
Hello, my name is Harrison Weber. We're also from Whispering Meadows, 2492 Canapa Trail. I think that the roads in our street, they're probably some of the worst, because it's like right at the cutoff. So if I want to ride to my friend's house, I have to climb up this huge, like, inch thick, like, just mass of potholes and stuff before I get onto good solid roads. And my brother, he's been injured a lot on those roads, and it just makes it really hard to ride your bikes and walk and pretty much just do all of it. It's even becoming dangerous for small vehicles and motorized motorcycles. And I'm gonna hand it off to him, my brother. My name is Mac, and I live with Harrison and my mom. And the reason I'm not allowed to ride my bike on the roads anymore because there's too much potholes, and I've been injured more than I can count. And also, lots of people are moving out because of the potholes, and some of them are my friends, and I'm angry about that.
And my name is Meredith DeLarber. I'm their mom, and having 2 young boys, our road is between 2 finished roads, so if they go this way, they have to go up an incline. If they go this way, they have to go up an incline. And then everything in between is potholes or, this massive discrepancy between the curb and the actual road. I've seen neighbors out trying to get the water to go into the storm drains because, like they've said already, it does flood. It freezes, it packs down snow, it's slippery in the winter, it's not safe to drive on, it's not safe for them to ride on. And then, as he actually mentioned to me earlier, we've got some unfinished lots in the area without sidewalks, so people say just use the sidewalk. Well, our whole neighborhood doesn't have sidewalk. There are parts that don't have sidewalk, so that's not an option either. But we would like to see something done. It's been a really long time. Our roads are almost gravel at this point. So that's all we have to say. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Garrett Dorsey. I too live in Whispering Meadows, 431 Winterberry Drive. And I gotta say, I'm developing quite a complex because the grass that is growing in the cracks of the roads is better than my lawn. Not to a lack of trying. I have 3 little girls, and like everybody else has attested here, we are raising a family there. They want to be able to learn to ride their bikes in the streets. On my street, we're fortunate enough to have a cul-de-sac. Unfortunately, we can't use it because it is like running on gravel. We can't have them play in the streets. We're a wholesome community there. It's where we grew up. It's where we want our kids to grow up. And part of that is having streets. I mean, I got yelled at all the time for riding my skateboard on the street, but those streets were rideable. I don't have the right to yell at kids riding on the street because they're not riding on the street, because they're in such disarray. It's to the point to where any alternative route that I take to get to my house, the Faxon going through, is also becoming intolerable. So that's it. Fix our roads.
My name is Colleen Long. I'm at 2434 Allendale Lane in Whispering Meadows. I am one of the first houses on the right when you come into the neighborhood. There's a very short main stretch that looks beautiful, and there's flowers and whatnot in the middle. I'd say it's probably about 100 feet. And then right when you get to my house is where it just goes down. And I used to make jokes that, some days when I was having a horrible day, I'd grab a beer and I'd sit outside on the porch and I would watch people go by and just whack the undercarriage of their car, and it would make me feel mildly better about the day that I had, which is probably wrong, but most of them are usually strangers because everyone that lives in Whispering Meadows knows don't go more than 4 miles per hour there. The most frustrating part of this is my daughter is an amazing skater, and she has to cross the street to see one of her good friends, and she cannot even roller skate from one side of the road to the other. It's not possible. It is gravel. The wheels don't even roll. My son, look at my son's knees. I mean, he's like missing chunks of skin. This is all from wipeouts from these streets. My children are not allowed to ride in the street, not their bikes, not anything else. But as a couple other people said, there's a lot of spots in the neighborhood where there are no sidewalks. We don't have a choice. We go as a family, and if I'm standing there, we try to stay off to the side, but it's getting to the point now with a lot of parked cars. One of our biggest problems was when we all decided to do the driveway seal coat at the same time. Then everybody, of course, is parking in the street. I watched 2 people in front of my house. They didn't want to hit the parked car, but the other side was the pothole. They actually swerved and curbed their car just to avoid this monster pothole, and they didn't want to hit a parked car. Decisions like that shouldn't have to be made, and I mean, it could have been a kid in the road. Extremely frustrating, again, with the taxes that we pay. We want our fair shake. We want what everybody else has. We want our children to be able to walk across the street to their friend's house. This is my daughter, Addison.
So whenever I go to see my friends, they're always coming to me, but I always go to them too, so we can walk together. And every single time, I'm always on my rollerblades, and she's always on her skates too. So when we go, and when we cross the street, there's a ton of potholes, and we all fall on our knees because there's so many potholes in the road.
Good job. Good.
How you doing? I'll sign in here first. I don't live in Whispering Meadows. I live in Grand Reserve. I actually came here for a completely different reason. But I've heard 7 families get up here and talk about how bad their roads are. And it's striking to me that no one's made a comment at all yet about this. Is there anything budgeted for this? Is this going to be addressed at all? I'm curious. I believe it's Ward 3, is that correct? Do the aldermen from Ward 3, is there any plan for this? To have this fixed?
This is actually public comment. This is the time for you to comment.
Okay.
Council.
Yeah, and I didn't know.
Yeah, it's not-
I was just struck by the fact that nobody's
Yeah,
even
it's
saying
not really public
anything,
debate or
and nobody's asked any questions, so I thought I'd come up and ask questions. If you guys don't want to comment, you know, I understand this is just, that's my comment. That's my comment. I'm struck by that.
So Whispering Meadows, I mean, it's very frustrating. I know it's frustrating for the residents. We talk about it quite often. We're doing all we can. As you know, they're not city-owned roads yet. The developer failed and didn't live up to their commitments. Believe me, we're doing all we can. It is very, I know it's frustrating for you and you don't want to hear we're doing all we can, but we're doing what we can. The wheels of justice just turn very, very slow. I don't know when our next court appearance is on that part, but
Several weeks.
yeah, we're battling Fidelity, we're battling the developer. Fidelity put up the bonds. Now believe me, the city will never take another bond from Fidelity.
We're letting the bonds that are there to the roads.
Right. Now, the bonds that are there, we're fighting to get payment done. You know, can't really go delve into it too deep because it's pending litigation, but
Right.
we're trying to have your back the best we can. I know it's frustrating, but hopefully it'll be resolved here soon. Do we have any other comments?
Good evening. My name is Ryan Phillips, and I live at 589 Heartland Drive, and I'm here to voice some of our concerns in the neighborhood about the proposed location of the Casey's General Store. Talked to many of you on the phone. Alex Hernandez has been very helpful. I appreciate your help with that. But first and foremost, the safety of our children and our residents is a primary concern. Having to traverse the intersection of McHugh and Landmark every day, it's a fairly blind corner. It's hard to see traffic coming that's speeding down that road frequently. And now we're talking about putting a gas station there with a rear entrance or exit, however you want to look at it, onto McHugh Road. It's going to essentially create a four-way intersection at an already somewhat difficult intersection to negotiate. Furthermore, it's going to probably funnel trucks out onto McHugh Road, who are going to now go down McHugh to Salmonock to get back onto 47. And again, this is something that my neighbors and our residents in our subdivision aren't willing to accept. We voiced our concerns to the Planning Commission 2 weeks ago or so, and we're essentially told that it's not going to be a problem where this gas station is going to go. For one thing, it's an eyesore. I mean, our houses are going to be looking at this across the street. Currently, it's an apartment complex, which we have no issue with. But really what I want to pose to you guys is, what's your vision for Yorkville? I mean, we've got 4 auto parts stores, 3 in very close proximity, 2 gas stations, which none of them seem to be overly utilized, and requiring a third one to be put in such a close area, let alone at that location. We have 2 gambling establishments, multiple pawn shops, and multiple liquor stores. And I like Casey's Pizza as much as the next person, I really do. But it doesn't need to go at this spot. There's commercially zoned land across the street, which was where we originally thought it was going to be located. And now we're told it's going to go on the south side of 34 and literally be a Beam, McHugh, and the Heartland subdivision. So what the feedback I'm gathering from my neighbors and friends is, what we do want are more things like a Blackstone, dining, entertainment options. And what's your vision for Yorkville? What's the plan? Okay? These are the questions I've been asked to bring to your attention. We'll definitely be here more in force on the August 8th meeting when this is, I'm told, is on the agenda. We're just hoping that this isn't a done deal yet. We have a lot of banks, we have a lot of other things going on for Yorkville. We're excited about the movie theater that got put in. Those are the things that your citizens are asking for. We're not asking for a gas station directly next to a subdivision. It's going to bring more through traffic through Marketplace from McHugh. People tend to cut that to try to save time. I'm not sure why, because it isn't a time saver. There's no sidewalks on McHugh Road, so people will be walking through our subdivision. The police reports reflect it. We've had an increase in crime in the neighborhood, multiple break-ins to parked cars. So these are the things we wanted to bring to your attention, and you'll be hearing more from us in 2 weeks at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other citizen comments? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. What do you want to do? I hope I did. What's that? Yeah.